Welcome back to Evening Edition. In just a couple of minutes, we'll check out a great holiday event with Ed Smith of Key West High School's Conch 5 Studios. But first, let's dig up some Key West news with muckraking journalist Ted Lund of the Above the Fold Substack. Hey there, Ted. Welcome back to Evening Edition.
Well, Nick, thanks for having me today. I'm sorry that your field trip got canceled, but at least we get to be on the air together.
That's right. I could have been on roller coasters, but instead I stayed in the roller coaster that's Key West politics. So, since last time we talked, a lot's gone on down at Key West City Hall. Let's start with District 5, where we have a new interim commissioner, and there was a candidate shuffle. You want to tell us what's going on and the conspiracy theories being whispered outside City Hall?
Well, yeah, I'm hearing quite a few snippets. I haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but it sounds like that the plan to install Greg Velez was actually prior to the unfortunate passing of Commissioner Mary Lou Hoover. So that's going to be to look into here in the coming weeks. And it was very strange that Harry Russell resigned from the race, which is going to be interesting. But I understand that, and I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, but I understand that Greg has stated publicly that he is not going to run for the permanent seat. So it's going to be interesting to see. There's probably going to be some more with regards to that.
Okay, let's stick right there on White Street at City Hall, because during the meeting, the issue of support of food pantries and food insecurity was a topic of discussion. You wrote an article on this topic. What was your angle?
Well, it's very unfortunate. It almost seems like this commission, anything that Sam Kaufman or Monica Haskell propose, the other commissioners are against. And this was actually a referendum or a proposal by Kaufman to donate $40,000 in emergency relief funds to the various food banks around the city. And I know that City Manager Brian Barroso actually made the statement that he had not heard from anybody at any of the food banks or anybody involved saying that they needed help, when in actuality there was an email sent to his official email and Mayor Denise Enriquez's official email that is listed on the city website that explained very clearly how several of the food banks have seen, I believe SOS saw 28 new families enroll in their program during that time. That was right in the middle of the shutdown. So it just seemed like there were some tone-deaf comments there in actually working on roundup and some more video of that meeting. But, we had the mayor actually made a statement that living paycheck to paycheck was nothing new for families in Key West. And that just doesn't make any sense to me. Donnie Lee tried to make a compromise and at least get $20,000 out there so that they could at least do something in the interim while they determine if there's anything else they need to do. But that actually got voted down, receiving only affirmative votes from Lee, Haskell, and Kaufman. And it's interesting because we have business people standing up at meetings and saying that, they're in survival mode. And then you've got Commissioner Aaron Castillo standing there saying that the economy's never been better, and that he didn't think that it was appropriate to donate that kind of money right now, which, that's all well and good, but it is the holiday season. It's traditionally when food pantries and such see an uptick like this. And it's a very tough thing. You've got families that are trying to stretch 3 meals into 5. And, the city has almost $1 billion in assets, no liabilities. And they have that $75,000 that they allocated for the UNESCO project that they killed. So it seems like it would have been a nice gesture to constituents to help out with that food bank. If anything comes of it in January.
Okay. Now, we've had a lot of news regarding immigration, customs, border protection, and the moving goalposts concerning the legality of those that are covered by temporary protected status. You wrote an article about some of the City Hall employees who are dealing with this TPS status. What's City Hall facing?
Well, it looks like they've identified there's an email from Bridget Flores, the HR director, that there are nine Haitian employees that are set to lose their TPS, I believe, on February 5th is when that program is going to end if Congress doesn't end up extending it. And the city is just kind of planning as to how they're going to handle that and how they're going to handle benefits and things of that nature. You know, it's with 500 employees, I hate to see anybody lose their job. 9 employees isn't that big of a push. But one thing that is kind of interesting is if you look at some of the other service industries, of which Haitians play a very, very large role in the southernmost city, they're going to face some pretty serious challenges. One of those being, I believe, waste management. They have a huge proportion of their employees that are Haitian, and certainly I think they're probably going to be affected by this TPS move, as well as, anybody that's in the restaurant business. If you have back-of-house staff that are affected by this, it's going to put an even bigger squeeze, I think, on the employee retention issue in Key West.
Okay, before I let you go, Ted, I understand congratulations are in order. Did I hear correctly you've been named a top political reporter by Chris Cillizza? So who is Chris Cillizza, and what does this award recognize?
Well, Chris is a longtime political writer. He worked for the Washington Post, actually started their news blogging operation, and also worked for MSNBC. And I believe Politico. I think he was also there, but he's got his own. He has his own Substack now, so he's publishing all that. And he put together a call, I guess, a little bit about over a month ago, looking for who people thought were really having the most effect in political journalism across all 50 states. And I didn't know anything about this, but one of my subscribers, Chris Hamilton from Car-Free Key West, actually nominated me. And apparently I made the cut. What's kind of funny is people like my friend Jeff Schweers, I believe there were 7 or 8 people in Florida, and I went to journalism school with half of them. So that was kind of rewarding for the University of Florida. But yeah, very, very cool, and certainly have been seeing an uptick in subscriptions just since then.
Okay, and one more thing, Ted. I understand you've got a slight change in your Substack domain. How do we get a hold of your work now?
Well, so what people can do is they can continue to use the old Substack link, but my new domain is actually atfkw.com. That's abovethefoldkeywest.com. And if anybody has any story ideas or tips, they're more than welcome to email me there at ted@atfkw.com.
Well, thank you so much for getting us all up to date, Ted. Happy holidays and congratulations on that recent recognition.
Very good. Same to you.
That was muckraking journalist Ted Lund of the Above the Fold Substack, telling us about the shuffle in District 5 in Key West, other scuttlebutt coming out of City Hall, and his recent recognition. Coming up, we're going to talk about a great holiday event with Ed Smith of Key West High School's Conch 5 Studios. That's up next on this Friday, December 5th evening edition, brought to you by Two Friends Patio Restaurant and Keys Auto Center. Stick with us, because we'll be right back on US 1 Radio.